Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with a matchup between the Vampire Coast and the Tomb Kings. Yes, indeed, going to be examining this matchup a little bit. I'm actually playing the Tomb Kings here, up against a Vampire Coast opponent. Let's look at his build briefly first, then we'll switch to mine. We've got Noctilus here up on his Necrofex. He's got Invocation of the Heck and Drown Dead, as well as the summon item. Very typical stuff. Frontline of Deckhand Mob, Meat Shields. We've got a couple of handgun, gunnery mobs. Pretty good choice there. Depth Guard. We've got some polearms in the back protecting 3 carronades. We've also got 2 units of Rotting Prometheans, a single Depth Guard for a nice DPS option. And that's pretty much it. Relatively straightforward Vampire Coast army. For my army, I've got 3 carrions spread all across the board here. We've got a Tomb Scorpion hidden in the woods, Grand Hierophant Kotep, and a Tomb Prince also hidden in the woods here. They're going to be our go-to lords. I'm particularly looking for this Lich Staff ability, where we can try and give recharge time to Noctilus, and hopefully not let him not cast so many spells, interrupt his flow a little bit there. Just we've gone with a huge infantry line, tons of skeleton warriors, 6 skeleton warriors in fact, 3 units of Tomb Guard, King Nekesh's Scorpion Legion, the Regiment of Renowned Spearmen with poison, solid melee defense, and 4 skeleton archers, one of which is the Regiment of Renown with armor sundering. So without further ado, let's get the battle rolling. You can see the Tomb King's going to be advancing all across the board here. The Carrion going to try and interrupt the carronades if we can. They're honestly not the biggest threat to the targets that are out in the open right now, so I'm not super concerned about it, but if we can get a little bit cheeky here. I see that Noctilus is actually firing at the Carrion, so I'm like, wonder if I can get him to friendly fire some of these carronades. So we're going to go ahead and swoop down here, even though this is obviously not a good situation to put these carrion in. I mean, granted, these zombies will be a little bit slow to react, but they're close enough. Noctilus does go ahead and take a shot here, though, and actually blows up one of the cannons, which is a lot better than what I was actually hoping would happen. So yeah, thanks Nocti Boy for blowing up one of your cannons. That's very sporting of you. We're going to go ahead and pop that physical resistance on them so that they can pull away, get a little bit of healing map-wide, and again start to put that recharge time on Count Nocti Boy. And Carrion just kind of chilling back at this point, moving up, not really too worried about the losses we're sustaining at this point, almost to the first tier of Realm of Souls, in fact. But yeah, most of the high-value targets hiding in the woods at this point. In terms of Kotep's spell loadout, we did go with the double Vortex. Vortex spells I found to be pretty decent against the Vampire Coast, so we've got his Bound Sandstorm and the Skull Storm as well. Protection and Cursed Blades are the other 2 spells, so here comes the frontline engagement between the Bony Boys and the Fleshy Boys, all undead, you know, no vampire counts though. Tomb Guard will do very well in this frontline engagement as long as they don't get blown up too much by the Necrofex. It looks like said Necrofex coming forward a little bit, going to be putting some summons in the back line here, trying to tie up some of the archers there. The carronades also firing at the archers, which is definitely a good choice. They can potentially do a lot of damage to Count Noctilus. You can see the Scorpion coming to interrupt some gunnery mobs who had popped up summoned here, Overcast Summon. Fortunately, we're not really able to shut down the carronades as effectively as I would have liked. My opponent doing a great job just staying patient with the crabs and the polearms there. You can see all across the board a very wide engagement. We are fighting zombies just everywhere here, but thankfully, because I have more melee infantry, we're able to get a few up and around. It is going to take them some time because they're relatively slow, but here comes Kotep. We're going to start to activate some of his abilities here, throw down that, I believe this is the Skull Storm? Or no, that's the Sandstorm. And yeah, and then the Tomb Prince is going to get into the back line here. The crabs probably should have tried to stop up the Tomb Prince here, but instead they're going to go ahead and try and support the front line. Tomb Prince with his anti-large AP is going to come in here, start to put a beating on Noctilus. He also put the Blade of Setep on him, down to only 45 armor, and we're also focus firing with the archers that are available to fire. So definitely getting some really good damage done on Noctilus at this point. Noctilus on the Necrofex really isn't great at fighting single entities, and you can see we summoned the Ushabti in the back line as well. Let loose the other Vortex here. I believe this is the actual spell one, the tighter area of effect. Getting some really good damage done on the zombies in the back line here as the the Ushab to kind of hold things tied up a little bit. I really don't want these handguns coming online. Handguns can do a lot of damage, so we're going to be intercepted here, these Skeleton Warriors, but that's okay. The sooner we can start working through a lot of these deckhands, the better it's going to be. Kotep providing a nice rear charge penalty here, helping to crumble away a couple of more deckhands. So far, infantry fight's going pretty well in my favor. The Depth Guard, though, chewing through some Tomb Guard here, have taken a lot of damage, but at the same time have been able to rack up 133 kills in climbing. They've been just chewing through skeletons in that front line there. Meanwhile, the Carronades, one of them not doing great in terms of its leadership here, definitely, and unfortunately the Tomb Prince was kind of screened out a little bit there by some summoned deckhands. Very nicely played, but the archers are all still in range, and these skeleton archers are really just paying dividends right now, especially the Blessed Legion of Demonetization that's sundering his armor, bringing him down to, again, 45 armor, allowing these guys to really actually get some very effective fire here. Another Vortex from Kotep right on top of the Tomb Prince. Gonna try and spring him loose if we can and go take down Noctilus, but unfortunately that one went in the wrong direction, so this one's literally going to be directly on top of him here, right on those zombies, just wrecking through them. You can see quite a few models just drop immediately. I'm going to try and pull the Tomb Prince away by the space that created. Unfortunately, he does get a little bit caught up here, but come on, buddy, I know the zombies are heavy. Swipes one down there, and I think he's going to be able to escape. We'll check back in just a moment. Balance power still very close at this point. We've got Crabs working through this flank over here, doing quite well. The Crabs have honestly crumbled a lot of units in the front line. Tomb Scorpion getting focused by the handguns here. Really, really rough stuff. But we're going to go ahead and just collapse with everything on these Crabs here. Oh, looks like Noctilus is going to go down to the Tomb Prince, managed to get free in the back line, and he's going to be chopping up the big old Nocti boy here. Yep. He goes down, and oh man, he'll actually like drop the cannons and stuff too. That was interesting. Tomb Prince going to try and now pull away from this particular engagement. Meanwhile, we're focusing everything on the Crabs in the back line, who, because of the loss of their general there, really not doing great in terms of their leadership, getting focus fire. The Scorpion fighting the Crabs, so definitely the battle of crustaceans here. One is undead, one is a construct. Looks like the Scorpion definitely pulling out the victory there, of course, with the support of the other units. The Carronades still trying to fire in, just about finished off the Tomb Scorpion, but gunnery mobs here, I believe a summoned gunnery mob charging forward. Kotep taking some pretty serious damage, but we're now going to just start to focus other high-value targets. The Depth Guard are next on our list, so because they have no missile block chance, relatively low HP, down to 60 armor once sundered, we're going to be able to chew through them with the archers. The Tomb Prince shutting down this Carronade here, very cost-effectively. The other Carronades still free to fire, though, going to be using up more of that ammo. Got some crumbling skeleton warriors trying to make their way up across the field. But yeah, things honestly at this point are still pretty close, all things considered. We do still have a couple of pocket vortexes with Kotep there, but yeah. The handguns have some serious armor-piercing missile damage, and they are no joke. Even in this diminished state here, they're popping off shots, just getting a ton of work done. I believe they actually take down the Scorpion there. Yep, it falls just there. Kotep going to pull up one more vortex, but he takes a nasty volley there from those handguns. Definitely an uncomfortable situation. He's going to have to pull out of range as quickly as possible. That did manage to send both of these units into crumbling, so pretty decent on that vortex there. It goes back and, oh, just actually does not hit that Carronade. Thought it might there, but Depth Guard just about to crumble away, so now we're going to move up the archers into range and start to just finish off these Carronade crews. Put the Curse of Jaff to make these zombie handguns go out of control into melee with the Tomb Guard and then Scorpion Legion here, so we'll be able to finish them off. Tomb Guard pushing forward to get onto this Carronade here, so I believe we're going to focus the archers on the other Carronade here, so yeah, Kotep just about gets finished off, actually. He's currently crumbling because of the cannon fire there, but my opponent is actually going to go ahead and admit defeat at this point, which I believe, yeah, Kotep does manage to bring his leadership back, and yeah, with the Tomb Guard inundating the zombie crew here and the archers in range, the Carronade's going to start to take fire, and my opponent admits defeat, despite the fact that balance power was still pretty close. If he could have connected on like one more shot, like this shot I don't think is going for Kotep. It looks like it's going for the maybe the archers or something, but if he could have connected one more shot on Kotep, probably could have brought the game back, but choosing to admit defeat at that point and just give up the fight. So yeah, I mean, I'll take the win, certainly. It would have probably been a close finish, but Fortunately, we are deprived of that, and we just have to be happy with the epic battle that we already saw. So certainly, very fun battle, and Katep on the horse, just generally on any mount, he's pretty squishy, so you've got to be careful. This particular map, I knew that I was going to be able to hide him in the woods over on that right flank and keep him relatively secure there from the missile units until I chose to bring him out. And so that's why I wasn't really too worried there. Generally, just following the MO of most factions against the Vampire Coast, just go super wide, bring a few elite infantry units to kind of chop through the front, elite shielded infantry, that is, if possible. Plenty of archers, some good supporting units as well, and vortex spells to just clean up lots of chaff. And Katep able to do that, 131 kills. If you guys look up Katep, like if you go to my channel and search Katep, you'll find some more replays of me using this similar type of build against the Skaven. First time using it against the Vampire Coast, and it worked out pretty well, honestly. Katep able to get a lot of kills. The Tomb Prince compromising the backline and going after Noctilus, getting some good damage done. Likewise, the Skeleton Archers helping to do a lot of damage to Noctilus. Ultimately, I think is what allowed me to kind of carry that in the late game there. The Archers also helped take down the Crabs, so definitely a huge fan of Skeleton Archers in this particular matchup. Tomb Guard also did quite well, 130 kills on these guys. 88 kills for the Scorpion Legion. They did quite well also, helping to protect the back line there. The Tomb Scorpion, you know, didn't do a ton, but it did distract a lot of the fire from other high-value targets and helped clean up some of the units in the front line there. For my opponent, Carronades definitely mixed results here, but a lot of them doing quite well, able to be defended effectively by the Crabs and the polearms and everything, and then get some good damage done against other various units there. Just about took down Katep, but not quite. The handguns did some pretty decent work against like the Scorpion and stuff, but weren't able to support the frontline engagement super well. And man, 219 at the end of the day on that depth guard. They definitely just cut through the front line super hard. And typically, you know, because of the way the meta is developing right now, I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see less and less Vampire Coast missile builds. Like in this particular build, if you were to cut the handguns and cut the Carronades, the Carronades actually pretty solid against the Tomb Kings, I think. But maybe just cut one and you bring some more depth guard potentially. Maybe cut one Carronade, one Gunnery Mob. I think that would give you enough to get an extra depth guard. I think that'd be pretty solid. Just help cut through the chaff that a lot of people tend to bring. But anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.